Those are some of the cool things that I got to do. The trouble that we have, though, is when we get out of the military, what do you do with that? So a lot of jobs in the military don't necessarily translate out into the civilian world, especially interrogation. So unless you want to go into law enforcement, which I did not, or go into the FBI, which at the time I could not because I did not have a degree. I wanted to go into the CIA, but I couldn't because I didn't have a degree. And by the time I would have gotten my degree, my top secret security clearance that would have given me the open door would have been expired. So I'm kind of in a rock and a hard place with this. So I ended up going to school at Mississippi State, got my bachelor's degree, ended up moving on, got my doctorate degree, and since then I've earned 5 degrees. I'm a professional student. My wife says I'm not allowed to get any more degrees because it will not fit on my headstone. So, but out of that process, what do you do with those skills? What do you do? What out of that do you learn? And how do you apply that? And in that process, I've been a business owner. I've built businesses up. I've sold them off. And right now, I'm currently the CEO of 3 different LLCs. Out of those skills, you have to learn how to sell. If you're selling, are you leading? You're trying to lead them to buy what you have to sell. That's leadership. You learn to take all these little skills and little nuances. You have to learn how to figure out what people value. You've got to be able to build that connection and build that rapport. And there's a lot of different scenarios as far as sales are concerned. You may have something that's a pre-planned where you've got business to business type negotiations that need to take place. That requires a specific approach. That requires a specific amount of preparation for that. Versus if you're out at like a vendor fair and you're just trying to sort through all the people that are walking through to find the people that want to buy what you have to sell. It's a sifting process. And there's a different approach with that. So when you talk to people, you've got to factor those things in. There's a lot of preparation that you need to do. So when you have the opportunity to be able to go and sit down and have a good business to business discussion or a meeting, you need to do your preparatory work. Even when I have corporations that contact me, I send them a Calendly appointment, have them choose a time, and between then and the time that I'm supposed to meet with them, I'm breaking down everything about their company. I want to know how many employees they have. I want to know what their annual revenue is. I want to know what their products are. I want to know what their revenue trends have been. But it also tells them that I'm already invested in what they are and who they are. And if your intent is where it needs to be, everything else will take care of itself. So you can't get stressed about the outcomes. And it's very easy, especially as a new business owner, to get stressed about the outcomes. You get so focused and emotionally attached to the outcome that you can actually screw yourself up. But during the course of that conversation, if you give them any type of incentive, if you've made any promises, if you gave them anything that you said you're going to follow up with, you have got to follow through. Because you spent that entire conversation trying to build rapport, trying to build a relationship over a short amount of time, trying to build trust. And a reputation is something that it takes quite a bit of time to be able to build up. It takes fractions of a second to destroy. And something as simple as simply not following up and doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. If you give them a deadline, you better meet that deadline.